Hi Donna, I am live now. Yeah, I'm fashionably late, but you will forgive me because I was doing a video for Gary. Right, guys, so I'm just going to get straight into it. I'm not sure whether or not I was going to get on here tomorrow. So I'm going to play the full interview by Jen Soto. This video has been courteously uploaded by Grizzly True Crime. From FOIA requests that have been made. So I'm going to be able to share that with you guys, and we are going to go through it, and I'll probably have some comments as we go through it. So let's go, let's crack on. I won't be doing the whole interview because, as you can see, it's quite a lengthy one, but we will do a good part of it.
Straight that. How many you short of it?
Actually, 50 people.
I've sped it up a little bit just for good measure as well. At this point, I'm not sure what she's actually sad about anymore. Oh, Constance Martin is back in the court as well.
Told you. My name's Kevin. I work for the Orange County Sheriff's Office. I met Detective Smallwood from December. The goal, obviously, Kissimmee Police Department's doing most of this investigation. We're at the Orange County Sheriff's Office. Our people, we have resources out there, obviously doing active. So it's kind of a joint effort. So Detective Smallwood's kind of, we're going to read through the timeline of everything else. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to go there. All right.
You want me to go through the whole timeline?
Yeah, we'll start with Sunday. Take you through Sunday.
Okay. Sunday. Do you have tissue?
Yes, ma'am. I should have some. Do you have actual tissues?
No.
I can give you this whole roll.
So Sunday, birthday party. She spent the whole day at my mom's house. We celebrated with the whole family. I was at work. I just started a new job last week or the week before.
Where's that at?
Walt Disney World at Coronado Springs, front desk concierge. I was finishing my last day of, no, it wasn't even my last day of training. I was still in the middle of training. Sunday in the middle of training, I couldn't miss to go to her birthday party, so I went to work. I was with my family all day. She had the best day. She was so happy when I got home and I saw her. At my house around 8:30 that night. I wasn't home. She got dropped off alone. About 10 to 15 minutes later, Stefan showed up.
At your house in Kissimmee.
At my house in Kissimmee, he called me. Or he texted me, I don't remember. But he let me know he was there and that she She was getting ready for bed. She was doing her routine. So she took her nighttime meds and she got in the shower to get ready for bed.
What meds does she take?
She takes hydroxyzine.
Okay.
Um,
What is it for?
it's for anxiety and for sleep.
Okay.
Now, could she take that by herself, or would he have given that to her?
I think she took it by herself. She got home and she had already taken it.
How do you know that?
That's what he told me.
That's what he told you. Okay.
He was there when you got home? You got home, they were in the apartment? Okay.
I don't like her taking her meds without somebody visually watching her, because I don't want her to accidentally grab the wrong pill. She's comfortable enough to grab the pill, but I'm like, no, I need to watch.
Because you're the really caring type, aren't you, Jennifer Soto? So caring that you needed your sleep so much so that you sent your daughter to bed with her stepdad.
Has there ever been an issue in the past if you took too many or took the wrong thing? Or just like a thought in your mind?
No, just a thought, just me being kind of vigilant. I want to physically watch her take her meds and watch her grab two, take them. I don't ever want there to be an accident of she took too many or she took. My biggest fear is that she would take Adderall by accident, her daytime meds.
Got it.
I got home around 10:30. I started getting ready for bed myself. I started eating and taking my meds. I have to take meds. When I went to take my meds, I realized, oh my God, I forgot to take my Saturday night's meds, which is why I felt so weird and so abnormal and not myself Sunday. While I was at work, everyone at work noticed I was acting.
I kind of feel like she didn't give a shit. I honestly, because when you hear this interview, the more you hear, the more you think,
different and not being myself. Like I couldn't smile in front of the guests. I felt this wave of depression that I haven't felt in years. It was my bipolar symptoms coming up again, but I've been medicating myself for all this time. I realized I forgot to take my meds, and I said, you guys, I need a good night's sleep. I need to take my meds. I sent them to sleep upstairs in the guest bedroom so that I could get a good night's sleep. I suggested that we all sleep together in the same bed together, but not the easiest person to sleep with. She rolls around, she punches, she kicks. We have a king size bed and she typically sleeps on one side and she'll end up on my side when we wake up.
Okay.
So I asked her, I'm like, no, please, I need a good night's sleep. If you guys can go upstairs and let me sleep. I had asked Stefan to take her to school in the morning.
What about Sunday? So Sunday you took your meds. What meds, if you don't mind me asking, what meds do you take? And like, how does it, do they put you to sleep deep? Does it help you fall asleep or does it help regulate you? What kind of happens when you take the meds?
So they do all of the above. They make me sleepy, they help me stay asleep, and they help me function, so I'm stable.
I totally agree, but she's arguing that Madeline didn't like to sleep in her own bed and she had to sleep with them because of her anxiety. Well, I'm not being funny. She's taking anti-anxiety medication to help her sleep. She didn't have her own bedroom. That was the thing. Well, she had the self-made bedroom. She could have gone in there. But, I perhaps understand the night of her birthday, she's perhaps thinking, oh, I'd like to see my mum because I hadn't seen my mum all day. She missed my party and everything, because working at Disney and not booking the day off was far, far more important, or at least trying to arrange the party around your work so that she could have a party that you could attend on a different day. Wouldn't, have to do these things on the exact day. You could have worked that out better, Jen. You could have worked that out better.
All day. They only work well if I've got a good night's sleep and if I've eaten with them the night before when I take them, or the night I take them. The medication is called Geodon. Generic brand is called Ziprazidone. I took my meds, and then I told them to start getting ready for bed, to start heading upstairs and get ready because it was already almost 11 o'clock. It's past her bedtime. She needs to go to sleep. So I sent them upstairs. I think he may have come down at one point to pee before bed, and then he went back upstairs. He uses my restroom because the roommates upstairs don't want to share a restroom with a male. Yeah, so he uses my restroom. everywhere. Doing
You're
things.
fine. Sunday night he came downstairs, maybe overnight to use the restroom.
Yeah, and then he went back upstairs and they went to sleep. Or right, they went to sleep.
Okay.
I went to sleep. I was woken up at some time. For the longest time, I've been saying he woke me up at 8 o'clock in the morning because I assumed he was taking her to school and getting ready for school. But in reality, I don't know what time he woke me up. The sun was out a little bit. It was still a little dark. And I was very sleepy when I got up. I was kind of drunk. But he came in to walk the dog, to put a leash on the dog and walk him.
Was the dog in the room with you?
Yes.
So did he wake you up on purpose, or was it just kind of like the causation of him opening the door and you realizing somebody was there?
Yeah, the causation of him putting the leash on the dog, because the way the dog reacted, he gets very nervous and will urinate if you put the leash on him too directly. You have to like be nice and talk to him. He's a very he's a nervous dog. Yeah. So I got up to try to help him, and he said, "No, go back to sleep. I'm fine. I got this." And I said, "You sure?" I said, "Yeah." So I laid back down and went to sleep. I heard noise in the kitchen, but I'm not sure who it could have been getting ready. But it could have been Stefan. It could have been any of my roommates. I fell asleep again, and I didn't wake up, I think, until 9 o'clock in the morning.
Did you ever leave the bedroom in that time frame?
No.
So he came in, you were kind of woken up based on him interacting with the dog, but you stayed in bed, you didn't leave the bedroom. So if you woke up at like 9, so you never
That morning.
Monday morning.
No.
So the last time you would have been Sunday evening? Okay.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I want to see her. Yeah.
Take a minute. Okay? While you take a minute, I was going to ask you earlier, has anybody reached out to you during the time that you've been investigating this? So don't have anything else? Negative, positive, neutral?
My best friend said,
What on earth kind of paper is that? That sounds like, I mean, that's nothing more than she deserves. I'm not going to lie, but do you remember when you used to be at school? I mean, I can't even believe that they used to make it. I mean, I don't know. I don't think these exist anymore, but do you remember the old, when you were in the toilet at school, do you remember the old tracing paper style toilet roll that actually didn't actually do anything other than scratch? Yeah, that's what that sounded like. That's nothing more than she deserves. She, you know, that deserves to be a bit rough on her face, doesn't it? I'm not gonna lie.
been in contact with me just to try to help me. There's like, setting up Facebook groups, flyers.
No negative interactions with the public or anything? Nobody's like reached out with tips or accusations or anything like that?
Not that I've seen. I've been avoiding social media because my family's telling me to not go on.
Would you be okay with our digital people looking at your phone to verify there's no stuff coming into socials, texts, things like that?
That's fine.
Do you have a phone?
Yeah.
What they'll do is they'll plug it in, they'll do a forensic download of it so they have the data. That way they can go through it and say, we didn't receive things, we didn't receive things, here's the communications in and out, things like that, so we can verify that for you.
That's fine.
What's your password at?
030288.
030288.
Is that a birthday?
My birthday.
It's your birthday?
Yeah.
My birthday's tomorrow.
Today's the first. I didn't even know. This is the worst birthday ever.
And then if I'm honest, I'm probably more thinking she's crying over the fact that Sternsey has been messing with her daughter and showed an interest, and actually Sternsey is in prison at this point just from her behaviour. It's terrible.
That way they get that
just
going, so
my
you can actually
opinion
work.
for educational and entertainment purposes.
So you said about 9 o'clock on Monday, you wake up.
I wake up. I have a doctor's appointment.
She's
I'll be sometime
exhausted
between
herself.
9:30 and 9:45, and I head over there. It's blood work appointment. The appointment's for 10:15, but they take a while to see me.
Where was your appointment at?
LabCorp. And do you want me to tell you exactly which one?
Sure.
Oh wait, I don't know.
When we get back, we'll go back to it.
It's, you need to Google it. It's the LabCorp across the street from the Loop in Kissimmee.
Okay, got it.
Had my appointment. I finished there sometime between 11:15. Then I headed home. When I got home, Stefan was there. I had talked to him a little bit earlier while I was waiting for my blood work appointment, and he let me know, oh, I'm so sorry, I left my phone at home by accident. School, everything went great. She got up super early, got up really quick. She slept most of the way in the car. I asked her multiple times if she wanted McDonald's, but she said no. Because that was the plan, was that they were gonna stop at McDonald's that morning and go get breakfast.
Okay.
And he said that he had gone to the bake shop and they were closed, they didn't open. So he waited there for a while and left, and then said he was gonna go back later. When I saw him at the house, everything was normal. We were chatting, we were talking, he was acting normal. He was sitting in my computer chair just messing around on his phone. While we were hanging out, he mentioned something along the lines of, oh man, I've been avoiding this phone update for a really long time. I should probably update it now. And I said, do it, don't avoid it, just get it over with. And he updates his phone and then tells me, oh my God, I don't know what button I just pressed, but I just factory reset my entire phone. And I said, how the hell does that happen? That gives you options now when you reset your phone? He goes, yeah, apparently I wasn't paying attention and I just pressed the button and it happened. And I said, oh, that's unfortunate, that sucks.
That's unfortunate. That sucks. Everyone knows when you go to reset your stuff, you have to like confirm it and then reconfirm it and then like a million times confirm it, right? I don't know, this woman. And the thing is, like, after obviously this all started to come out, she just disappeared. No one's ever really seen anything of her. And I think she's had some sort of immunity by giving up information. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you come on, Ellie, you don't need Jen for immunity. You've got for evidence. You've got all that rather horrific video evidence that he took himself. You know.
Later on, he tells me he's going to go back out, and I think this is around 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Still on Monday?
Yes, still Monday. 12:30 in the afternoon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. He tells me he's going to go back out. He's going to stop at a few gaming shops, and then he'll meet me at the house at 2:30 so we can get together. He left. I hung out in the house for a while. Was waiting for 2:30 to roll around. 2:30 rolls around, and I'm already calling
jog
Stefan,
on the spot in a minute.
and he's not picking up his phone.
Every time I do that, I'm like,
2:30 comes, I leave. About 10 minutes later, I get a phone call from him going, I just got back home. I left my phone home again. I'm so sorry. How long ago did you leave? And I said, about 10 minutes ago. He goes, I'm so sorry, I missed it. I really wanted to go with you. And I'm just like, it's fine. I figured he wasn't going to make it because when I looked at the time when he left and said he was going to visit 3 shops, I didn't think he had enough time to visit them. He told me while he was gone,
hello, Nick, speak.
That he got a flat tire somewhere on 182. The wheel just shredded and fell apart. So he was changing the tire, and it took him a really long time to do it. He said he hurt his thumb while changing the tire, like the frame or something slipped and something pitched his finger, and he ended up having to yank it out. And he said he hurt his finger.
I want to touch on something real quick. When you were calling him,
Happy birthday.
he eventually told you that he left his phone there. Did you hear the phone at the house?
No. If it was anywhere, it would have been upstairs and I wouldn't have heard it. It would have been in the guest
Do
bedroom.
you
Yeah, I'm
typically go
okay.
upstairs?
Who, me?
On a
Yes.
thing. I keep
Only
leaning
to
on the
laundry.
table and it then goes under the
I was
drawer
just curious if you
edge
had heard the phone.
and then it makes
When you were trying to
punk
call
and
him,
then
I
I'm
did.
like,
I did
oh
it.
shit.
So he tells me all that. I get off the phone with him. I'm waiting. I wait for about an hour and 10 minutes.
We'll have all the cakes
4:04,
tomorrow.
bell rings, and I'm waiting. I'm the first in line.
I'm gonna see my birthday in with Gypsy
And
Rose.
she doesn't come out.
You were in your car?
I was in my car, in the car line.
Pregnant and on parole.
At this point, it's been a few minutes. She should have been out by now because she's usually one of the first kids out. She knows I'm in the front line. And I'm holding up the line behind me because there's kids getting in the cars behind and they're all waiting. They can't get around me, right? So I start calling her,
Eyes is in
forgetting
here.
that I have her phone on me. I had found her phone earlier that morning. She had left it at home. And I brought it with me because she does this often. She does leave her phone.
Where was the phone at the house?
It was on top of the dresser in her bedroom.
Downstairs?
I question that.
Downstairs.
I question that.
Just so you know, I have a 4
Most people with ADHD or kids with ADHD, right? 2 of my kids had been diagnosed with ADHD, and they're quite bad, you know, especially behaviour wise and the hyperactivity element of it. And I can tell you, the one thing that they would never leave the house, they'd refuse to take their medication. They'd forget to take their medication. They'd forget to do their homework. They'd be skippity doo dah. They'd do this, that, and the other. But the one thing that they would never forget is the phone, because they wouldn't want their parents to get their hands on the phone. You know, I don't believe that. That's tomorrow, mate. Tuesday. I'm coming in on my birthday is gonna start at midnight. And I'm gonna be waiting for Gypsy Rose Blanchard's bollocks tonight. But like tomorrow, tea time, well, not tea time, but sort of evening time, battle. Because it'll be a party night. Yeah.
bedroom townhouse.
Okay.
The living room has a partition in it, a fake wall kind of thing. That's
Terrible.
got her bedroom in it. That's got a bed, a dresser, and a desk on it. Does she sleep there? No. She'll hang out there. She'll use her computer and hang out there. That's her hangout spot. But she primarily sleeps with me every night in my bed. That's because I know the roommates wake up super early in the morning. They're going to be in the kitchen. They're going to wake her up if she's sleeping out in the living room. So I don't.
So your bedroom downstairs, or makeshift
Should have given
bedroom
it a guest
downstairs,
bedroom then, Jen, shouldn't
Yes.
you?
Her dresser. Her phone was on her dresser.
She did not need to be in, she did not need to have a bed there. She didn't have to sleep with you. She had a guest bedroom. She could have slept in there. But you chose, or you claimed to choose, that she chose to sleep with you. I'm not being funny. If she was embarrassed to turn up in Sternsy's car to school, she'd be embarrassed to sleep in the same bed. And if these things were going on that we know that have been alleged and that he's been charged with, there ain't no way she would have wanted to have gone up there in that spare bedroom with him. But your beauty sleep was far more important.
When I found it, I was like, oh my gosh, okay, it's great. I brought it with me
Me either,
to the school because
Connor.
I was just going to yell at her and then just hand it to her so she could have something to do on our way home. 4:10 rolls around and she's still not out, or 4:09. And then at this point, I'm feeling the pressure from the cars behind me. I'm like, okay, they're all full. They're all waiting for me to leave. She's not here yet. So I take off. And I'm thinking, maybe I missed her. Maybe I forgot to tell her I was picking her up from school today because I don't know if she knew that I wasn't working. I don't know if she knew if I was off. So I asked, I don't know if I told her that I was going to get her. So I left thinking maybe she walked. That's pretty close to school. If I can't pick her up at school, that's where I tell her. I drove the path she would have walked. I didn't see her. I got to the office. And she goes, oh, it's a little too early. And I said, okay, let me go drive back down and wait along the path she would walk and just wait. And I parked and I waited. I waited, I'm not sure how long I waited. Maybe somewhere between 5 to 10 minutes. She still wasn't there, and I looked at the time and I'm like, okay, she should be back at my mom's office by now. Maybe she took a different path and I didn't see. So I went, no, she's still not here. And I'm like, that's really strange. So I call, I don't know if I text her, I call. I think I text her. And I asked, hey, or I called, no, I called her. I asked, and she said, no, she didn't make it to first or second period. And I said, what do you mean? She was dropped off close to the school. She should have been in school. She goes, no, she didn't make it to first or second period. I said, please check with the rest of your friends, see if she made it to her any of her other periods. At some point in this, I emailed one of her teachers asking, actually emailed a few of her teachers and 2 of them responded. One of them said, no, she did not make it to class, and I checked her attendance for the rest of the day. She wasn't in school at all. Like, he sent me a screenshot of like her attendance.
Hey, Auntie Ree, long time no see.
But it said 0, 0, 0.
You still have that on the phone?
Yes.
Okay.
If you need to know what app, I'll tell you what app. It's a special school app.
Got it.
He said she was missing all day. And at this point, I start to panic and freak out because that can't be the case. She was dropped off. I had to go check her attendance at school, but the office had closed already. The lights were off. I could see a student sitting in there in the darkness, but I couldn't see any of the administrators or anybody in the office. Lights were off, everything was closed. They wouldn't allow me in. I think at this point, the teacher had responded to me and told me she didn't make it to school at all. I start having like a freak out panic attack.
Are you still just you at this point? Is it you and Stefan?
It's me and my sister. And I want to say one of them was Catherine. I start panicking. And I think at this point I call Stefan and I tell him, hey, because she didn't make it. She's absent today. There's no attendance of her at all today. I'm like, right now. And he said, okay, I'll be there. And he came to the office. And there for like 3 hours, I think. Eventually I contact one of my friends whose husband works, or ex-husband works for OCP, or for you guys. Yeah.
Okay.
And I messaged him and I talked to him and I asked him what I should be doing because you guys aren't responding quick enough.
You know his name? Where he works?
Yes. Nick Mann.
Okay.
Or Mihan.
Do you know what he does here?
I think he works for SWAT.
Okay.
Sure.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
He tell you to wait.
I can't remember anymore. I think he let us know that there were other kids missing in the area, which is why you guys weren't responding quick enough. I think an 8 and a 9-year-old had gone missing around the same time too. In a playground, they forgot to tell. They didn't tell their mom they were going to the playground or something like that. So all the cops were over there on that side of Hunter Street. My sister's boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, whatever he is, thought it would be a good idea to go to the park and talk to a cop there and see if he could bring a cop back, and that's what he did.
Okay.
And then at that point, that's when the cops started asking us questions, taking a report. Interviewing me, they interviewed Stefan. They asked Stefan to take them back to the location where he dropped them off, and he showed them wherever he dropped her off. They were looking for cameras along the path, and I don't think they found any cameras along the way. So if there's any video recordings, I think.
Did Stefan go with them in their patrol cars, or did he drive himself and they followed? How'd that work?
I think he went with them in the patrol car. Then they came back, and then that's it. Everything was done. Cops were done. We were done.
What time? You remember what time that was on Monday?
After dark, we say 8 o'clock.
What did you guys go do after that?
We were in separate cars, me and Stefan.
Okay.
I ugly cried on the way home. I shouldn't have been driving, but I ugly cried on the way home, and I went straight home. And then the first thing I did was call Fox 35 News to see if we can air some missing children information out there.
When you say ugly crying, just overly emotional tears make up crying, or is there like, what is your meaning of ugly crying?
Sobbing where I couldn't see the road and I shouldn't have been driving, like I was swerving.
Makes sense. Did Fox 35 come out to your house, or what was their response?
They responded the following day. I think we did a Zoom video interview.
Did Stefan follow you home?
I don't know if he followed me, but he drove home, yeah.
I mean, was it within a reasonable time when you got there?
Yes. Drove home. We waited there. We didn't know what to do. I stayed up late. I think I called Fox 35. What else did I do? I think I had to eventually eat and take my medication. He told me he was going to go out cruising that night to go look for her. And I said, I even questioned that. I asked him, are you sure it's a good idea? You should probably sit tight. Let's just wait to see if she comes home. And he said he was going to take a drive out. I had completely forgotten about him wanting to take the drive or that he actually did it. And it wasn't confirmed to me until the following day where agents came to the house and we sat in the car for a good amount of time. And I noticed the chair was adjusted. And I said, did you drive my car? And he said, yeah, remember I said I was going out last night? That's right, you did say that.
Did he tell you where you looked?
I think he said up and down 192. And I said, why there? And he's like, I don't know, I'm just looking. I was just trying to look anywhere. And I'm just like, okay.
Did you say if you found anything or talked to anybody, or just roamed?
Yeah, roamed.
When you felt when you were getting ready for bed, you were tired, emotional, were you falling asleep when he left, or were you already asleep when he left?
I was already asleep when he left.
Okay, did you sleep downstairs? In your bedroom? When you woke up, was he already awake? Was he still sleeping?
He was asleep in his bedroom upstairs.
The guest bedroom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you take your medication that night?
I did.
What did you guys do Tuesday? Or just you guys, if you're not together, what's the timeline on Tuesday?
Tuesday, he slept. I woke up early and started making phone calls to like the national hotline for missing and exploited children. I called the number that the sheriff's office had given me to see if they had any information, and they let me know that she was like the what did she say she was? I don't remember what she said her position was, but she had just gotten into the office and was just starting to work on it, so she didn't have anything new for me. Her name was Bonnie Mitchell, I remember that. She asked me to send her some photos. The National Exploited Children's Hotline place asked me for photos as well. I think at this point, I had asked my friends and family to start contacting news outlets to try to get as much attention on this as possible. I had a lot of phone calls coming in, and I was picking all of them up, hoping that any of them could help me. But it ended up being news reporters or people who had seen my phone on my phone number on a flyer and was trying to give me suggestions. Somebody letting me know that they took flyers all the way to Orlando International Airport and posted them all over the place in case she was being trafficked. They suggested that I go to Amtrak and Greyhound. I had my sister making all these runs for me. I didn't leave the house to do any of this.
Stefan's still asleep?
Yeah. Eventually, reporters come to the house and do an interview. And at this point, Stefan was awake. I did an interview with them. And then Stefan was crying in the background. And I said, Stefan, do you want to do the interview? You can if you want. And he sat in front of the camera and did an interview where he cried.
Are we saying that Stefan Stearns was crying in the background? I vaguely recall seeing him hovering in the background, looking rather dodgy.
You know which news outlet that was with? I know there's a video on Fox 35
With him
appeared
sitting-
to be on like a webcam.
Yeah, that was Zoom. He was sitting in the background for me.
Okay.
I know
But you
that one.
had in-person interviews with reporters?
Yes.
You,
I want to say it was Channel 9.
okay.
Yeah, Channel 9.
And he spoke to them?
Yes.
Okay.
And he ugly cried in front of the camera too, so he was fucking fake sob crying.
Are you saying that now, or do you?
I'm saying that now. I didn't think that at the time. At the time, I thought he was truly heartbroken and now that he had done all this shit to her. Like, I look back at shit now and just like, he was fucking lying. He was fucking faking. What else has he been lying to me about? I know he's like a master liar manipulator because he's done it to his parents and he's told me and shown me the lies he's done to his parents. But I don't know why I never thought, not me.
The lies are about money, they're about where he's at, what he's doing. Was he?
Yeah, all that.
To his parents?
Yeah, he's stolen money from his parents. They used to have a few $1,000s hidden in like a closet for emergency fund kind of thing. And during COVID, he stole, like, he wanted RC cars. See, if he wants something, he's gonna get it, no matter what. So he wanted RC vehicles, the remote control cars, fancy ones. They were a few $100s, and I'm poor. I know I can't afford it, and he's showing up at home with these things. And I asked him, "Where are you getting the money from? Because we don't have this money." He goes, "Oh, my dad." And I said, "Your dad gave you money?" He goes, "No, I took some from his closet." And I was like, they have an emergency stash? And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, he's gonna notice money's missing. And he's like, "No, he won't. It's so much money in there, he won't notice it all." I've confirmed with Chris later on that he did notice money, but he never asked his son. But I let him know, yeah, he was robbing you and just buying himself toys. He's also lied. Most recently, he lied to his parents about where he would be. He told them he would be at his friend's house playing video or board games or something like that, but in reality, he came all the way to Kissimmee to hang out with us.
Okay. But you guys were together Wednesday? After all the interviews, did you stay Wednesday? Would you? I know
Yes.
we had some detectives go meet you guys Wednesday, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Were you guys in the house together until the detectives came?
Yes.
What kind of happened after the detectives came?
See, I feel like everything starts to get blurry.
Oh, I get it. Trust me, we've been in this office for like 3 days straight.
Yeah, so I just don't remember what day I had conversation with you guys.
Tuesday night, Orange County detectives came out there because I ended up coming out Tuesday night.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember seeing me or not that night.
Okay.
That was the first night we were at the apartment into the nighttime.
Yeah, is that when you guys shut down the house for forensics?
Yes.
Okay,
Tell
so,
us about that.
okay. So earlier that day, I think Detective Hunt came, or somebody came, and asked Stefan for his cell phone. If he would willingly give it up so that they can look at it, or if they would need a warrant. And I remember him saying, "Should I have asked a warrant? Should I have?" And I'm like, "No, you got nothing to hide. Give him your fucking phone." And I think we hung out in the house for a little bit, and then when you guys came in the evening and you guys told us to wait outside and we waited in my car, he started getting very anxious and very panicky, going, "I want my phone back. I want my phone back." And I said, "Listen, at this point, it's their phone. It's theirs for fucking ever. I don't give a shit. We will buy you a new phone. It doesn't matter anymore. Whatever they need, they need. Like, let them look at it." And he's like, "I just want my phone back." And I'm just like, are you trying to make yourself more suspicious? Because like, if you were to go demand your phone back right now, that would look suspicious as fuck. Like, what are you doing? I'm thinking he's just getting impatient because he's bored and wants to play on his phone. And at one point, he takes my phone to start playing with it. I give it up, and I said, "Here, play on my phone. Have fun." Because I think from my phone, he was trying to log into his emails, but he couldn't because you need like 2-factor authentication from your own phone. And I'm just like, "What are you trying to look at?" And he's like, "Oh, my shipments, my packages." He's addicted to buying shit. That's another thing. Me and his dad couldn't figure out where Stefan was getting money from to buy stuff since he's been unemployed the last 2 months, but he's constantly buying himself packages, buying himself things off Amazon, buying himself things off the line.
Is this stuff you can confirm, or you think he's doing this?
What?
Buying packages.
I can confirm because I am linked to his Amazon account.
Okay.
She's very aggressive about Stearnsy's purchasing problems and obviously had conversations with the parents. So she was probably more aware about Stefan Stearns's purchasing issues and what he was purchasing and how often he was purchasing and the amount he was spending more than what she was aware of what was going on with her daughter. Jen, come on.
And his parents can confirm whatever UPS packages or whatever he's getting at home. But I'm linked to his Amazon account. If you guys have my phone, you'll see whatever shipment. I think most recently I did like birthday party. If you see birthday party stuff, that was me. But everything else, him. He's constantly buying stuff and he doesn't have money. He keeps saying he's got money in his savings, but me and his dad called bullshit because he hasn't had, when he lived with us, he was struggling. His dad was helping him pay his bills, paying his rent, paying his gas, paying his insurance. Stefan was helping us, supporting us by buying food and all that stuff. But I don't know what he did with the rest of his money. And I don't know where he's getting money from now.
You were telling us that he was trying to log into
he's
his
trying.
emails.
So he's trying to log into his emails on his phone. And I said, two-factor authentication, you can't do anything. You're just gonna have to wait till you get your phone back. What else? We waited in the car.
I feel like she's trying to
I think at
convince
this point,
herself.
when I noticed that forensics was locking down the house and you guys said we couldn't come back, I told him to call his dad because I had a feeling y'all knew something and it was gonna come down on him. And I'm just like, they're focusing on the wrong person. They have the wrong person. In my head, I'm convinced you guys are that you had the wrong person. I wanted to think that he was good.
Before we get ahead of that, what is the conversation like between you two when you're in the car? Because y'all were in there for a good while we were trying to figure things out at your apartment complex or your condo. What's the conversation like inside that car?
I'm trying to think back to what exactly we were talking about. I remember late in the like when you guys let us know we couldn't come back, and I called his dad, or we called his dad. I started saying to him, like, I think they're focusing in on you. Like, we need to call your dad, and I think we need to get you a lawyer. I feel like they're focusing on the wrong person. And he kept saying the same thing. He kept repeating what I was repeating. That they're focusing on the wrong person. They're wasting time.
Indeed. And eerie.
How do you feel when you said he needs a lawyer?
He didn't believe me. Like, when I told him, like, don't you see forensics is closing down the house? They fucking know something, or there's something, like,
They know something
something's
we
happening.
done.
They wouldn't be locking down the house this way if they didn't have suspicions of something. But I wasn't thinking, I don't know why I wasn't thinking him. Like, I was just like, no, they've got the wrong guy. He just kept saying that they have the wrong guy, that they're focusing on the wrong person and that we're wasting time and we call his dad. We tell his dad to come down here, and his dad did come down here and met us at a hotel. That was another thing. I don't have that much money. I live off disability. I couldn't afford to put us up on a hotel. Like, when you guys said that we couldn't return, I was like, I don't know where to go. I was trying to think if any family member would have a spare room or anything like that, and not that could take the three of us. When I say three of us, I mean him and the dog. And I know at my mom's house, we would have been welcome. My mom does not like Stefan. She's never liked Stefan. So I knew that our only option was to go to a hotel, but I couldn't afford it. So we called Chris, and Chris met us at a hotel by Disney, off of Western Way, and that's where we went. We got there pretty late. We checked in. I used the restroom, and I was getting ready for bed, or laying down in bed probably around 3:30, 3:45 in the morning, and I fell asleep. Stefan was already asleep at this point.
You go straight to sleep when you got in, or just kind of drifted off as you were falling asleep? Like, you went to the bathroom, he goes straight to bed?
He was already in bed before I went to the bathroom. Okay. I was on my phone for a little bit. He was laying in bed snoozing. I went to use the restroom. I was in the restroom for quite a while because I had like a terrible sub. When I came back out, he was asleep. At least I thought he was asleep. But
His dad stayed with you guys?
not in the hotel room. He stayed in a different room on the same floor.
Okay.
The following morning, I wake up, I think around 9 o'clock in the morning, and Stefan's not there. And I remember thinking, he left again without his phone and didn't tell anyone where he was going. That's suspicious as fuck again. Why is he trying to?
But we took his phone, so he got a new phone.
He didn't get the new phone until later that day, where his dad woke up, came to our hotel room, and then handed him a phone.
Okay.
And said, "Here, have this phone in the meantime until you get your old phone back."
Oh, so you're just saying he's out and about with no phone?
Yeah, he's out and about with no phone, so there's no way for us to contact him. There's no way for us to. I didn't know if he even knew how to get back to the hotel because I drove that night.
Who
He's a little
cares if he
oblivious
can
to when it
get
comes to
back to the
directions.
hotel? He's a dickhead.
So I was just like, he's gonna even figure out how to get here. But he rolled in around 11:15. Rolled in with a cup of Wawa and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I was just driving around. I grabbed some Wawa on 182 and got lost. I didn't know how to get back to the hotel, but I'm here now." And I'm just like, detectives are about to show up. What the fuck would have happened if they showed up and you weren't here? Like, you would have been a fugitive. Like, what are you doing? And he was just apologetic about not telling anyone where he went.
But you know, I mean, he had a Wawa cup. He said he was up at 192.
Yeah, but in reality, I know that he truly took my car in the middle of the night to Northport, Florida, and was down there for an hour and came back. I didn't suspect that at all.
Good.
I literally thought, I'm like, oh, this man, we were right next to like a a Target. So I'm thinking, oh, he's probably like stress shopping, just looking at stuff. He likes to browse. I was like, maybe he's in there somewhere.
Something in the water.
But I didn't have a car. I couldn't go
there.
out looking, right? And also, detectives were coming, so I didn't want to leave. Detectives eventually show up. We were in the hotel room for a while. He went back to sleep and slept. I took a little snooze for a little bit that morning, and then I got up, and then I went downstairs to the lobby, and I saw Chris. And Chris asked if I wanted some lunch, so we went to the hotel bar and ate some lunch. We brought up some lunch back for Stefan, told him to eat a little bit. When he woke up, he took like 2 bites. Then detective showed up. He went downstairs. They let us know that there was a press conference happening, which we already had an idea was going to happen. And they told us they would give us a ride and escort us to the conference here. And then you guys would let us in the back way so that media wouldn't see us. But in reality, now I know that was just the interview guys with us. But yeah, and we showed up here and got separated. Haven't heard from him since. Haven't spoken to him since. Have no interest in speaking to him at all. Yeah, that was it. Then we got interviewed.
What have you done since? Like, where did you go back to the hotel? Did you stay somewhere else?
No. So after the interview and all that stuff, Chris took me to my sister's house. I've been at my sister's house ever since.
Good.
Yesterday, I went out for a little bit to go to Target to try to take my mind off of things. I went to Target to go get myself a toothbrush and deodorant, things that I didn't have because I left the house the last second.
She didn't actually really care, does she? Because, I mean, she's buggered off. She disappeared.
I also went to my ex-husband's wife's mom's house. Complicated, but we're all friends.
So,
yeah. They consoled me. They just kept me company. They made lunch. Then I went back to my sister's house. And I've just been pretty much there ever since. When I went to Target, I decided like, oh shit, I shouldn't be out in public. People could recognize me. It could either be good or bad, but people could tell me. I've already had people recognize me in my community, and dealing with people's heavy emotions and them coming to me and crying and telling me they're so sorry and how they feel is so heavy because like I just have to kind of stand there and take their emotions and like I don't know, it's so heavy. When I realized that these are the interactions I was having in public, I'm like, I need to stay home because I can't carry anyone else's emotions right now. I have my own to deal with, like I don't want my own mental health stuff.
Wah, Jen, wah. What the fuck? I can't deal with anyone else's mental health. Oh, Jen. you kind of put yourself in this situation, didn't you? Because you hooked up with a monster. You weren't keeping an eye on that monster. I think you did know more than you're saying. I think you did. I think you probably did know more about that morning because your stories on that chopped and changed, didn't it? And I think that's probably why you've got the plea deal, your immunity. All right. I'm probably going to hop off in a minute and we'll probably have to do this in like 2 stages because I've got a busy night. I've got to wash my hair and everything, and then I've got live, and then we've got Gypsy Rose Blanche's Bollocks tonight that we're going to be streaming. So just let her know.
Suffering right now, or for me to spiral and end up back being hospitalized.
So when did you meet Steven or Stephen?
I met Stefan in 2017. We both worked for Eco Homes, a real estate company. I did appointments, and he worked in the office doing like warranty work. We met as coworkers. We became really good friends. We were best friends for like a year, and then eventually I asked him if he wanted to hook up, and he said sure.
Bet you regret that now, don't you?
And yeah.
You said 17, 18. Did you live in Orlando, Kissimmee? Where were you guys living then?
Kissimmee.
And did you guys live together in 17?
He technically lived at his parents' house, but he was staying at my house all the time.
Okay. Same house you're in now or a different house?
Wait, I take it back. In 2017, he wasn't staying over my house. It started in 2018 when we started hooking up, and he started sleeping over my house.
Okay.
And what were your next question?
Was that in the current
Yes.
house you live in now?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you lived in that house?
On and off, because at one point we moved close to where his parents live right now. They live in North Port Florida, Sarasota County. I lived in Port Charlotte, which is Charlotte County right next door. We had an apartment there for like 6 to 8 months. We moved down there because, again, Stefan was promised a job and that fell through. So we supported ourselves in this tiny apartment for a little while until I ran out of funds.
Do you remember what year that was?
2020.
So when did you live in Port Charlotte in 2020?
I don't remember what month I moved in, but I remember moving out.
I know, Auntie Ree. The trial is going to be interested, although he don't want a public audience. Not that I think you should even get a second of consideration on whether he's public or not. He don't want anyone in the courtroom. He don't want any of the cameras in the courtroom. Sorry, mate, but you've committed a crime in sunny Florida, and the sunshine rules apply. Baby cakes, dickhead.
Out in November.
Oh, 2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was some. April, May.
That's fine. It was fine. We can look up if we need to later. 17. 2017. 2018. 6.
The redactions drive me nuts. Yeah, we didn't want to see that, did we? None of us really needed to see that. None of us at all. That's probably a good place to stop it now they've redacted it. She's just sitting there chit-chatting. So we'll come back. Not sure if it'll be, what's tomorrow? Tuesday. It might be Wednesday evening, and we will continue this journey with this interview. Because then we can get through that, and then we can get through Sternsy's interview and have a good laugh at that. And it's not going to be long, hopefully, unless I do foresee delays just because it's a DP. The murder trial will be delayed, no doubt. It's a DP case, and he's probably going to say his ADHD made him do it, and the old mental health card will come out, and they'll try and get him off on that. But his ADHD didn't make him do all them things. Please do not tell me that there are unredacted versions of his Pinky Winky. Do not need to see that. We do not need to see that. No one needs to see that. This is where Ernie Reed's like, yeah, they're out there. His manhood is out there. That's called corn, that is. Or pea, corn. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, this whole trial. But you know he's going to try the mental health card, so that murder trial is going to be delayed. But I don't know about. I don't think this SA one will be delayed. There's no reason for that to be delayed. I mean, he might come out and say he done it. He might plea it. Gotcha. Got you. Yeah, I'm gonna have to learn to do the FOIA request. I did do one to Romeoville, and I got all the information just like that. But I need to learn to do. I did try to actually get onto the Florida one, but it just kept saying the website was down, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. So I'm gonna have to learn that one so that I can get the stuff. Because I mean, I got all that stuff. They just sent me everything. I was like, ooh. How did that happen? So, guys, I'll be back probably Wednesday evening where we will continue this journey. And we don't need to see his stinky pinky anyway. No one needs to see that. Not even the bloody prison officers when they had to search him and stuff. So I will be back and have a good rest of your day. I'll see the rest of you guys over on the TikTok streets. We will continue with Drunk Granny while we're warming up for Lifetime. And then we'll be doing Gypsy Rose Blanchard and we'll roll into my birthday. So that'll all be good. Yeah, well, the one I did at Romeoville, Auntie Ree, I literally just did an email thing attached to the FOIA request thing, and then they just sent everything. I was like, what? But yeah, it's one of them things I must learn. But I'll get round to it. But I'm currently in the process of getting ready to move and all that. So that's probably not my priority. But I will. But yeah, I will be back later, guys. Not tomorrow, but I will be back probably Wednesday evening in between all the chaos of moving. So do bear with me. I'm doing my best. Because obviously I've got TikTok as well. So and I can't stream from here to there and there to here because it's stupid. TikTok needs to grow up and let us do what we want, but they're not going to. So on that note, I am going to catch you guys soon. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you, Auntie Ree. Bye.